All right, so ever since building this boat, the trailer, we all know, was failing tremendously. It was thin 14 gauge steel, which already had rusting out problems, and so it was even weaker than it should have been. And as I was building this boat, the trailer started to fail and bend. And once I caught onto that, I had to do a whole revamp of the trailer. I essentially built a brand new trailer around the current trailer. So now it's extremely strong. Everything we did to it, we fixed it. But the one thing we thought would make it, and we hoped would make it, would be like the leaf springs and all that. But no, they're failed. And not only did they fail, when I went to go get thicker leaf springs, like 6 leaf springs instead of 5, the new leaf springs do not match the old style. They're shorter. And so the linkage doesn't even work. And so essentially I would have to cut off everything and put all new hangers, shackles, and all that, the whole thing. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do all that, I'm going to make it a triple axle, because yeah, I'm sure some leaf springs on this would have propped it up and it would have sat better and handled better. But I'm telling you, this boat, it really does need a triple axle. Hey guys, before we start, I gotta show you this. I'm extremely excited to show you this right now. I wish I could have got it to you guys earlier, but this is from RPD. They're all new vertical tackle organizer. Now you know that we have made vertical storage, and I've been a huge proponent for the vertical tackle storage in terms of what it can do. Essentially, you can outfit your whole boat to be a lot more organized and fishable, and just your quality of fishing immediately improves the more of those you actually put in the boat. Some people just need a place to put their tackle, their wallet, and their keys, and hang extra baits and sinkers and terminal tackle, possibly a place to put their fillet knives, their pliers, their scissors. This will do all of that. You should at least have one, but really I'm saying you should maybe have 6. One on each side of each bend seat in the john boat. These were really made kind of low profile, so they would fit right on the bend seat of a john boat, either inside or outside. They'll fit right on the side wall. The more you have, the more stuff you can actually put in there. This is the best thing on the market for immediate change in your boat for tackle organization and storage, and just anything. I'll leave the description in the video, and we'll also just kind of be tagging the products right to this video. They'll be ready to view right there from our store. Check it out. Anyways, guys, on to the video. So in order to do this, you need a hanger, you need shackles and bolts, lots of them. Then you need, I don't exactly know what this is called, but it's like the pivot joint where the shackles hold up, and you'll see how this all fits. I'll lay it out for you guys. Essentially all those things are meant to join the leaf springs, and these are 6 leaf springs. Where the metal bad is, that's supposed to be facing forward. So all these leaf springs will be facing forward with that. And then we have 2 axles that were custom made, and that was pricey, but I did not have the guts to do it myself. If it was like a drop axle, those are really easy to make because those are already welded. Generally, the spindle's already welded to a tube, and the tube's super easy to line up with the extra tube. But in this case, putting it perfectly center in there, you need like a jig, and you need somebody who's really kind of. So these are 3,500 pound axles. It's weird to make them this way, but that is 1/4 inch thick steel 2x2. Yeah, these are here in the spindles. And we still need to get 2 more hubs and 2 more wheels, and then a spare tire. Now getting to the leaf springs, I'm just gonna show you real quickly that putting new leaf springs on a trailer is not hard, especially if it's a single axle. It is cake. You just have to get one measurement right, and then the rest just follows right in. It's super easy to weld on those hangers. Steel, if you've never welded, steel is the easiest thing to learn on. It's really hard to mess it up. You can go to Harbor Freight and get a Easy Flux 125, a hood, some gloves, a cotton shirt, some flux core, and you could weld right now in like an hour. You could start welding this. So all it was done was flux core, hangers. You go to Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply generally has small trailer things, not large trailer things. You ever want large trailer things, you kind of have to go to a large trailer shop. Thank heaven I live in like a boat shop, so it's a little easier for me to find some things here. And there's a few trailer shops here. So I got most of my stuff here from Shadow Trailers in Lake Havasu. Now the single axle, it's easy, but a tandem is a little bit harder. And then the triple is a little bit paranoid that if any of the shackles are not aligned perfectly with each other, that we're gonna have like one crooked wheel screwing up everything. Can't have it. So what I did is I got flat bar, 2-inch flat bar, because remember we boxed the old frame in anyways, and we didn't actually fully box it because that would be welding something on the bottom. I didn't do it because I just didn't think I had to. But now that the old tandems are off. We have to do something. So I figured, why not weld the shackles right to the 2-inch flat bar? It's 2-inch by 3/16. Make sure it's straight, and then just copy it with another piece right behind it. Just put them back to back, weld the hanger straight, make sure the measurement from the back is correct, just like it is on the other side, and then there's no way you can screw it up. It's on jack stands, and a good gust of wind could probably blow it over. I'm pretty scared. I got to get this done pretty quickly. All right, guys, so this is how it actually is. We got it laid out right here, how it's actually going to be on the trailer, but these are the actual parts we're dealing with. Okay, so we are dealing with the hangers, right? These are hangers. This is a short one like over here, and this is a longer hanger. Most of the time you're going to see short hangers like in the front, the very front, and then a longer hanger, because that's compensating for the bow of the shackles. Now the shackles actually will give this way or that way, so when the spring flexes, it actually flexes. Without the shackles, these springs would never flex. It actually would be extremely bad for your whole trailer. Sometimes you see some with no shackles, and it's just like a piece of metal that's going through a void, like a section that holds it, and that still allows this to be functional in spring. It just means it's a shackleless leaf spring, but it still is able to bow and flex freely. Those are on super light duty trailers. You'll never see them on an actual trailer with any sort of real weight. I guess it's not uncommon for you to see 4 high shackles instead of 2 low, like two low at the end and 2 high in the middle. Normally the higher shackles are in the middle to deal with this, the connector. I forget what this is actually called, but this is the piece that connects 2 leaf springs in tandem to the shackles and then flexes like so as you're moving down the road. These shackles, I got some this size and I got some this size. Now this matters tremendously. Now if you look at here and there, and we have a pretty good distance between, because the axle is going to sit like right about there. We're being honest, so we got a little bit of distance there from it. Over here you see we have like not a whole lot of distance, so personally think the larger hanger is going to work better in this scenario, because for some odd reason, by the time we get this one down here and these shackles up here, it kind of works out pretty evenly. Now we have them slightly longer over here, and we have the shorter shackles. Now if you wanted to raise this slightly more with the same kind of gear, but you wanted a little bit more height from your tires, you could do this. Let's get this one here, put it here, and it does matter. It is not the biggest raise, but it's about a 1/2 inch or so. You can kind of see a little bit wider up there than it is there. The hanger is actually straight. It's really not a big difference. It kind of almost doesn't matter. So we have the option, in case like we use these, well, I guess if it's spaced properly, then it won't matter, because these are spaced about the same distance away and these are spaced about the same distance away. So if we ever had to replace the shackles to a shorter shackle, we could totally do it, if that would make the difference. Right now, as I'm seeing it, there's like negligible difference between the shorter shackles and the larger shackles. We could go either way. I'm thinking that with the brand new 6-leaf leaf springs, and it being a triple axle, it'll support the weight much better, and we don't have to necessarily worry too much. We'll get a little bit better flow out of the larger shackles just by default. They're a little bit more leverage to bend with. But overall, this is how you would kind of piece it together. This is what it's going to look like in the end product. This is where theory victory came in this work. So I don't know how most trailers are built. I think probably it would be really hard to grind off hangers and sand them down and refinish the surface. Thankfully, this one, they just came ready-made like that. The fenders and the leaf springs, the hangers, the whole frame connecting each side where the wheels are was all one piece. So I welded them on. Initially, they were held on with U-bolts. So it was pretty cake. We're just going to replicate this design but for a triple. Putting the leaf springs and all that stuff on, that's the easiest part of building a trailer. It's building the trailer, that's hard, and then getting somebody to make you axles, that's hard. These are 2 completely different axles, come to take of it. This is a brand new one, which is what we got a duplicate of, or it's a newer axle. And this is not like that. I'm pretty sure that's a 1/4 inch 2x2 with jig welded spindles, but this one is not a 2x2. This one is a 1x, it looks like an inch. No, maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. And then they sleeved it with a piece of U channel. Looks like they sleeved it. It's kind of, I mean, I guess it worked. You got to here, but you could tell that the axles were like this at first. The first one he told me failed and he had to get a brand new axle. Knowing that this one would fail again, why would we use it again? So we went ahead and got the exact same axle. So we have 3 of these. It'll be over 10,000 pounds of weight capacity. The axles are crucial, so I had those made. Shadow Trailer made all those axles. They didn't want to, but they had made one for the guy I bought the trailer from, and so I kind of like talked him into making me the other 2. So I had 3 3,500-pound axles, 6 leaf springs, tons of load capacity, 6 tires. I just had to line it all up and put it on there. So to do this, I initially was going to use a 2x3 piece of steel angle, 3/16, but after it didn't really want to fit to the frame, I ended up doing flat bar, but I used that 2x3 just to kind of keep the flat bar straight while I welded all the hangers in place. Then once the first one was done, I just paired the other one right behind it, matched up the hangers, and made a second one. So they're both identical. We just clamped them in place. Went ahead and loosely hung all the leaf springs and attached all the equalizers to the hangers. And where you place your triple axle matters a lot. We kind of just placed it where the initial axle was. So it supports the same section, but it is now longer in the front and back. You really want to worry about the tongue weight. The boat is very heavy in the front, so we needed support up there. We'll get all 3 axles on, and then we'll start putting the U-bolts and the plates on top. U-bolts and tie plates are what connect the axle to the leaf springs. The leaf springs have a 1/2-inch tall peg in the middle, and the axle has a little 1/2-inch hole right in kind of a resting position, so you always line it up exactly perfect. It did that for all 3 axles. All you had to do is run the U-bolts and tie plates and secure them all. While doing this, you want to keep the shackles loose. Go ahead and put all the tires on, and then that will put the shackles in the exact place they're supposed to be. Then go ahead and tighten them down. You can get 2 types of hardware. There's the ones that you can self-tighten and they stop, so you can never over-tighten them. And then there's some where you can have more choice on how much you want them tightened. So neither one is the wrong, but I would say that the stupid-proof one is the one I chose. I mean, as long as you get the measurements right, everything else, they kind of stupid-proof it. It's pretty good. Prior to this, I welded a 4-inch by 3/16-inch thick piece of steel flat bar all the way around the trail, except for where the tandem fenders were. So now's a good time to put that missing piece in there to make the entire wall of the outer side of the trailer complete, so it's rigid, and we only got one chance to do this before we put the fenders on. Before we didn't need to do this because there was 2x3 angle holding the initial tandem fenders on, but now the original frame is now boxed in 3/16-inch steel flat bar, making pretty much a tubular structure. It's extremely strong. There is no flexor bow on this trailer the way there was. When you tow it down the road, the trailer doesn't flex, and the leaf springs were the only thing that flexed, but now nothing will flex. It will be solid all the way around. Now what the heck are we going to do about the fenders? After so often, you have to let your welder cool down or it'll start damaging it. So I took that time for cooling to go ahead and prep and paint these fenders. I used Aced Rust Stop. It's the best spray-on primer I've ever used for cold steel, and the Rust-Oleum makes this undercoating, this rubberized coating. I did like 4 or 5 coats of it, so it's extremely well protected and it won't chip with rocks. Now I know these final numbers here don't include the rims, but I was going to be paying like 16 grand from either of the trailer shops here. That was like the base cost for a triple axle. For a tandem, it was still like 12 or 13, maybe more. And then for any other add-on luxury, like a brake package or hydraulic system or any of that stuff, it was going to be even more. So like, and we're still going to actually add the hydraulic system onto this trailer. We have to. It's actually pretty heavy. The whole thing, when I tow it with my diesel, you know, I can feel it. I've been towing travel trailers for a while on that thing. I used to bumper tow a toy hauler. Kind of feels heavy like that. Like we're thinking it's pretty heavy, the whole thing. The trailer's got to be monstrously more heavy with everything we did to it. So yeah, we're probably going to add a brake system to it. I think it's just smart. We're probably not going to be towing this thing down the highway very often. Like we'll tow it from one ramp to another. It can go on the highway for short periods of time, but that canopy up there is going to not allow us to really go at high speeds for too long without problems. So we still got to make like trailer guides. I'm going to make those, but right now, after testing it, towing it down the road and feeling how much better it feels like a completely different trailer. Not even the same thing, not even close. I think that even if we had just replaced the leaf springs to better leaf springs, so the boat actually just sat better with the tandem, that wouldn't even still compare. So, you know, my buddy John from JDS Outdoors, he was telling me, because I was talking about these toy haulers. I just recently, because I'm a big outdoor person, I like the mobile hotel, and my family, you know, my kids are getting older. They're like, everything else is boring to them. So we had to like kind of upgrade the trailer so we can go other places where it's not boring, apparently. And the whole time, you know, some things with these bigger trailers, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to get a bigger truck. I don't want to get a dually. The frick do I want that for? But John was telling me that if you get a triple axle, that they handle so much better on the road that you don't need a dually, and your truck will pull it just fine as long as it's a triple axle. And if you get one over 40 feet with a tandem, it'll tow like crap. And I just took a word for it because he's more experienced. But actually now trying this thing on the tandem and then trying it with a triple, the triple handles so much better than a tandem. Like loads better. All the problems that I had possibly feared might go down when I was towing it, none of them were present. It was just a dream, really. And you know, right in the end when I was towing it down the road, like it all just came together and it all was worth it. So sometimes you get through a project that turns you sideways and you feel like you got gypped pretty bad. But this time, no matter how bad this was, I feel like it was tremendously worth it to build something like that on that level and have it perform as well as it did. And the trailer work, I mean, I think trailers and some more advanced stuff, possibly even little tiny travel trailers or gear haulers, tool haulers, I think those are in the future for this channel. I got some boats I got to take care of, but I really kind of want to do some of these things. I've been throwing the idea out there for a while. I got a good kind of mixed feedback about it. I think the majority of the channel would actually like it. So we'll see what we do here. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.